Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Charles. I'm your host, and you're watching Save Our Children TV. Back at it for a brand new video. Happy Wednesday, March 26, 2025. Let's get straight into our 4 stories. North Tonawanda is taken ill. Parents are seeking justice as Sweet Angels daycare employee faces charges of endangering the welfare of a child. Parents in North Tonawanda are seeking justice after they said their children were abused at Sweet Angels daycare on Erie Avenue last week. A 20-year-old employee of the daycare was arrested and now faces charges. Following a criminal investigation, North Tonawanda police arrested Sabrina Huntington, the daughter of Sweet Angels owner Callie Doyle, and charged her with multiple charges of endangering the welfare of a child. Quote, once I got the CPS letter, and then it just, like a light bulb went off. Sad judgment. At Let Kahani, whose son attended Sweet Angels. Etta Kahani said it was at the moment she knew something had happened to her 5-year-old son, Elijah. A complaint filed on May 2nd shows that the Office of Children and Family Services issued the facility a series of violations. One of the violations state the use of corporal punishment, meaning the punishment inflicted directly on the body, including but not limited to physical restraint, spanking, biting, shaking, slapping, twisting, or squeezing. He changed it into a different kid. Ethel said, we're still going through some other stuff. Sweet Angels closest North Tonawanda location on May 10th following a criminal investigation. Quote, my son was there for 2 years. I thought it was a really nice place. Etiquette said when you walked in, people were nice to your face too. I never expected this to ever happen to me or anyone I knew. It doesn't feel real. It is not the first time Sweet Angels daycare was in the spotlight. Several of its employees in the since closed daycare in Newfoundland were arrested and charged in September of 2023 with endangering the welfare of a child. Quote, I thought that was the problem, but I'm not the problem, said Kathy Chinez Stefanko. They're the problem, and how many other mothers and parents out here think that is their fault. Quote, I refuse to feel like a failed parent and refuse to allow any parent that is a part of this to feel like a failed parent, said Mallory Bumpers Rhoda. Quote, we are giving voices. We're going to use them. Our children will get justice one way or another. Doyle is due back in court on October 3rd. Quote, lo and behold, here it is. They released the press release through North Tonawanda Police Department, and it's the daughter of the owner. Roger said it's sad and frustrating too. Quote, I'm happy she was arrested and everything is going to start kicking into high gear and that our children are going to get the justice they deserve. At the county said, North Tonawanda location has since been sold to a different daycare facility. So here's the news video. Okay, my thoughts on this particular story. Number one, I said this before. If you watched my channel for a very long time, number one, we got as parents, we got to do better at background checks on these daycares. You just got to, on the people that come in contact with your children. because you never know. You know, you never know who's out there to get close to abuse your children. And so many daycares, um, so many over the world, have been shut down. Owner's been arrested. So many recovered on this channel, and I think that when we start holding these daycare workers accountable, you will see less and less crime being committed in these daycares. But this female daycare worker looks about 20. She looks she's in her 20s. And if we're going to hire young daycare workers, then I think they need to be trained to be able to fulfill their duties. I don't think these workers are being trained well. To abuse a child in your custody is absurd. There's a case out of Florida, where a black female daycare teacher assaulted a student. She was arrested. So I think there needs to be more regulations, and I don't think corporal punishment is punishment, and it shouldn't be tolerated in a daycare center. It's abuse by definition. It's child abuse. So we as society gotta do better. We gotta do better. I'm just glad no children were killed in the situation. Although these children will live with the reaction, they will live with this pain for the rest of their life. They would, had to understand what happened by these daycare workers or worker. So I'm glad they shut it down, although another daycare company picked it up and reopened it, and I think it should remain shut down. I think that it shouldn't have been sold. It should have been completely shut down. Good. I think that with the abuse claims and CPS reports, it should not be reopened. It should not be sold to a different company. It should be shut down for good. Let's move on to story 2 out of 4. An arcade man was arrested. Let's pull that up. This guy, Brandon J. Heem. Let's talk about it. An arcade man is charged with rape and endangering the welfare of a child. A 41-year-old man was arrested and charged with second-degree rape and other charges after a report of sexual relationship with a 14-year-old, according to the Arcade Police Department. Brian Haim of Arcade was allegedly in a relationship with the female victim. He was charged with 2 counts of second-degree felony rape, endangering the welfare of a child, and first-degree sexual abuse following a 4-month-long investigation. Haim allegedly turned himself in on Tuesday. He's been held without bail at the Wyoming County Jail and is scheduled to appear in court April 3rd. I hope he's convicted on all charges and sent to prison for a very long time to take advantage of a 14-year-old who could not even consent. Who cannot consent to the type of crime you inflicted on his victim. This person should never be back on the streets. He's a danger to children, and we hope and pray that this 14-year-old gets the help she needs, and that people like this guy will be in prison for a very, very long time. Story 3 out of 4. Brockton says Massachusetts is going to take an L. Brockton Mall 15. Victims in the Westgate Mall shooting identified. Police issue a be on the lookout notice. So this is in Brockton, California. Brockton, Massachusetts. So Massachusetts is taking an L. Two teenagers, Tamari Alberston, 15, and Savannah Alvarez, 18, were shot and killed Saturday night in the parking lot of the Westgate Mall in Brockton. Police issued an arrest warrant for DaVinci Leonard, 22, in connection with the shooting. The shooting allegedly followed an argument between Leonard and Alberston. Plymouth County District Attorney Tim Cruz said Leonard is considered armed and dangerous. Authorities named the victims and the suspect in the Saturday night's double shooting at the Westgate Mall parking lot. The victims is 15 and 18. They died from their injuries. Plymouth County District Attorney Tim Cruz said in a Tuesday press conference at his Brockton office, police are searching for the man that they say shot them both. DaVinci Leonard, 22, of Brockton. The DA's office had a beat on the lookout notice for Leonard and sent out to police on Sunday night. DaVinci Leonard named authorities described Leonard as 5'9", black man with brown eyes, weighing about 140 pounds. Cruz said the gun he allegedly used has not been found and that Leonard should be considered possibly armed and dangerous. He urged residents to call the tips if they see him or have information about where he is, but not to confront him. The number is 1-800-CAPTURE. Alberston was a student at Brockton Champion School. According to Brockton Police, public grief counselors are being made available for students and teachers, Mayor Robert F. Sullivan said. This type of crime is unacceptable in the city of Brockton, the city of champions, said the mayor, who spoke to the press conference. We will pursue justice and it will be achieved. Cruz said police received a call at 7:04 p.m. Saturday about a shooting on the sidewalk outside the Chipotle restaurant. Quote, Saturday being in the Westgate Mall parking lot was a busy place. Cruz said there were many stores there. There are many restaurants there. Teens and families were checking out the new indoor trampoline park. Ambulances took both victims to Brockton Good Samaritan Hospital. Cruz said where Alberston was pronounced dead, Alvarez was flown to Massachusetts General Hospital where she died of her injuries. The victims were not related, Cruz said. Cruz said investigators have been working around the clock. They have talked to dozens of witnesses and reviewed surveillance video from nearby businesses and continue to work the case, he said. Investigators started out and obtained an arrest warrant for Leonard. Cruz is believed to have fled the scene, packing his clothes, and hasn't been seen since. Cruz said right now he is the only suspect. The DA alleged that an argument involving Leonard and Alberston preceded the shooting. 2 young people have lost their lives on Saturday night, and our hearts go out to the families. The DA said this is a senseless loss of life, and one death via gun violence is too many. Jordan Melbourne, community director of Brockton Schools, said Sunday, we deeply saddened with the loss of a champion high school student following the incident of violence in our community yesterday. We are working to support the family however we can, and we'll be making resources available to students and staff given this loss. And this is the perpetrator. And what do you see in the mugshot? Him doing what? Smiling. Well, this is a picture of him smiling. Well, this is a picture of him. This is probably what he's doing right now in hiding. Smiling about the crimes he committed. He's 22. Killed 2 people in a shooting, a double shooting. He killed a 15-year-old and an 18-year-old. And this person needs to be off the streets. And I'm going to say this, to whoever know where he's at, and if he's hiding at a house that you know he's hiding in, you can be prosecuted if you know where he's at and if you're hiding him out. So think about that. You can be prosecuted. Massachusetts, Boston, is one of the dangerous places on earth. And we, as society, have work to do. These communities, these states and cities that are dangerous needs to be cleaned up. Get the thugs off the streets. Put them in prison where they belong. And then you will have a more calm, valued community But as long as you have thugs controlling the communities, you will see homicide rates go completely up. So, the system is broken by definition because this individual clearly should have been off the streets some time ago. He's committing crimes, and I'm pretty sure that his first time committing crime. But somebody know where he's at, and he needs to be captured. He needs to be off the streets. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. He needs to be off the streets. Let's move on to our final story. Michael Jones says go out to the family about victims. A father fatally runs over his child. Let's talk about our final story of the night. And then I'll let you guys go for the day. And then we back tomorrow. But before I read the last final story, let's talk about this bonus story real quick. It just popped up. Daughter loved dad her whole little life, and then he killed her before turning the gun on himself. Authorities allege that Miana Roach 6 was shot dead by her own father after being kidnapped from her home. A North Carolina man allegedly kidnapped and murdered his 6-year-old daughter before attempting in to take his own life. The Polkton Police Department received a call around 3 a.m. on March 24th from a concerned mother reporting a domestic incident involving her daughter Miana Roach and the girl's father Michael Roach. According to a statement, officers arrived at the scene and spoke to the mother, who allegedly said the father of her 6-year-old child come into her room in the middle of the night, threatening her with a gun, and then fled with the child in the mother's vehicle, according to the PPD. They said they were unable to issue an Amber Alert at that time because there was no legal documentation establishing custody. Attempts to locate Roach was unsuccessful, so police issued a BOLO alert for both the father and the stolen vehicle. 5 hours later, the deputy recognized the vehicle and attempted to stop Roach, according to police. Roach allegedly attempted to flee the deputy, but eventually lost control of the vehicle and crashed into a ditch, according to police. That is when the deputy discovered Roach with a self-inflicted gunshot wound and Miana deceased from a gunshot wound, according to the PPD. Roach survived the attempt on his own life, though, and police say he is now hospitalized in a critical condition. Miana's mother is taking hope to pay for her daughter's funeral won't give a hand. The picture posted of Miana on this site shows her smiling on her birthday less than a week before her death. Her father can be seen just behind her in the photo. Quote, I am trying to raise money to bring my beautiful 6-year-old baby girl, her mother writes, whom left this world so early by the hands of the father she loved her whole little life. And I'm going to say this. And that's him in the background. If you see him in the background there. I'm gonna say this. We gotta be aware of people's conscience. I do believe the father was violent. I do. You can tell. I just think that the mother should have been more aware of the signs and took that child out of the situation. And if that means take you and that child and run to safety, so be it. But again, his father clearly was a violent individual, was mad, I don't know what, killed this child who was innocent, and then attempted to take his own life. And that is what cowards do when they kill children, especially their own children. They then will retrieve a weapon and try to take their own life. But what I don't understand is, if you're bold enough to commit such a crime, then you should be bold enough to go to jail. Then you should turn yourself in. Most likely he would be prosecuted And I say give him first degree intentional homicide, and if convicted, throw away the key, send him in prison for the rest of his life. I think this child could have been something in life. I think this father ruined the opportunity over his actions. And people like that just don't deserve to be in society, because what will make a person not angry, but they will commit such violence on their own children. That lets me know what type of person this man was. So condolences to the family. May justice be served. Now let's go to our regular story. On MSN.com. A sick Florida dad fatally runs over his baby son after dumping him in the middle of a road, cops say. This is the perp, right? A black man. A sicko father has been arrested for allegedly dumping his 8-month-old son in the middle of a Florida intersection and then fatally running him over in his SUV, authorities said. Justin Golden, 20, is accused of killing the baby boy in Jacksonville after getting into a fight with his female passenger at about 11 a.m. on Saturday, according to the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. The driver stopped the vehicle at the intersection, opened the door, and placed the child on the ground, the Sheriff's Office said. The driver then began to leave the area, and the vehicle struck the child. It was immediately clear if the female passenger was the boy's mother. However, her 5 witnesses recalled seeing the distraught woman clutching the baby in the middle of the street in the aftermath. The kid was bleeding. Martin Barnes, who runs a barbershop across the street, told News4Jax, so we immediately asked did she need help. Now that I'm finding out the details, it's even worse. He added in a separate interview with First Coast News, just screaming, the people consoling her. You can tell it really was tragic, especially with a kid being that young. Barnes continued, it hits home. Anything dealing with kids we take very seriously. Golden, who allegedly fled the scene but was followed by a witness, was quickly nabbed and hit with aggravated manslaughter and vehicular homicide charges of the horrific ordeal, authorities said. He is currently holed up in the Duval County Jail. The sheriff's office said they are still probing the horror. He's been charged with intentional homicide. He intentionally put that child he intentionally put his child out the car and ran his child over. It should have been premeditated, upgraded to premeditated first-degree murder. That's what it was. And no excuse for it. This father needs to do life in prison, convict him. He's a danger to society, himself, and everyone around him. And what did the child do to deserve to be put in that situation? What did the child have to do with the argument with the front passenger? Absolutely nothing. But when grown adults get upset, they use the child as a retaliation. And that, to me, is disgraceful. And he needs to pay for what he did. Like, comment, subscribe, share, turn post notifications on so you'll be notified every time I bring a new video on this channel. And everyone have a great, great, great night. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.